Hello and welcome back, everyone, to Heart of the Swarm campaign in StarCraft 2 on Rocket Rapid Commentaries, and in this episode we continue on with the Crucible, attempting to make sure that Kerrigan successfully completes her transformation inside the Chrysalis, much like we had to do back in the third mission of StarCraft 1.
The life, although fearsome in its adulthood, is very fragile and vulnerable in its infancy.
Yeah. You'll notice that I'm actually doing a little bit of creep spread outside of my base, and that is because if our units are fighting on creep, our opponents are not, the attack speed steroid is honestly really important. Also, Hydralisks. For some reason, our Spore Crawlers are actually able to go 2-to-1 against enemy Mutalisks, and not only win, but even be mostly fully healed by the time the next wave of Mutalisks come in. Yeah, like I'm not worried about aerial threats like at all for the entire mission.
Pitiful mutas.
And there we go, spawning yet more Hydralisks.
Like this. Oh, I think we've both arrived at this game with a certain amount of meanness, but Kerrigan is quickly becoming the queen of mean.
How so?
She don't give two fucks, and she's gonna have her minions and creatures kill anything that gets in her path.
Well, she kind of has to. She's been forced into this position by a combination of circumstance and other people's choices.
And lies?
Well, other people's lies specifically, but yeah.
Yeah.
Like, as awesome as the storytelling in Brood War is for Kerrigan as a villain, it doesn't actually affect StarCraft 2 like at all. The only big thing that it affects for StarCraft 2 is a lot of Jim's guilt about still having feelings for Sarah. And even then, Jim is the only one that's honestly struggling with it. Like Horner and Tychus are all like, no, she's a monster. She needs to get put down. And a majority of the rest of the Terran factions are like, yeah, she's a monster. She needs to get put down. It's only Valerian that comes in and says, yo, I can manipulate Jim by dangling Kerrigan as a carrot because we can actually purify her thanks to this magical rock we found. Magical rocks. Magical rocks are the answer to all problems in StarCraft.
The Primal Zerg are destroying the rocks.
Indeed.
The Chrysalis.
Unlike these rocks,
you see,
we protected our rocks, so that is how we are going to win this mission. Haha.
Magic rocks, protective
Hell, even Amon is
it.
technically killed by the powers of a magic rock, but that is a story for much later on, because I have finally finished recording Legacy of the Void, including Epilogue. I don't like Epilogue.
Well, let it be known that in StarCraft 2, whether Epilogue or Intermediary Matter, you can eventually smell what the rock is cooking.
Dwayne's not in this game, though. And to be perfectly honest, I don't know what character he actually would end up playing as. Like,
Terran.
Maybe Duke? Like, maybe Duke?
Yeah.
But Duke dies during the events of Brood War, so he wouldn't be here.
Yeah, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson can't die. Yeah, it's not in his range to be a character who dies or becomes sacrificed or eaten. He is indispensable.
Yes, and it's from a couple of minutes from now when we actually start to get extremely large simultaneous attack waves on both sides, at least on normal. Queen, why did you go out? Burrow, save yourself!
Man, why do they gotta save the hardest and stupidest crap for the end of the mission after you've already been staring down a 15-minute long counter?
30-minute, but yeah.
Eh.
And the reason for that is because
attempting
to scale up in terms of difficulty and threat level. It's not really succeeding in that, but yeah, as past Gerdat is
Hashtag swarm hosts.
Yeah, it's supposed to be 3 swarm coats, 2 queens, and a spine crawler is all that this side honestly needs. Whereas the other side, with 2 swarm coats, a queen, and a spine crawler, couldn't even hold off the first fucking 10 minutes.
I still hold that if you let things go, those things should come back to haunt you. But if you have a clear board and then you get hit with, just a ridiculous number of things happening simultaneously, well, yeah, you damn well better have cleared the board before that happens, because then you might have a bit of a problem on your hands. That has absolutely nothing to do with your past performance during the mission. Or very little, actually.
Thing is, you're supposed to be performing constantly throughout the mission. Like, yeah, there's a lot of downtime for me, but that's because I'm not actually spending my resources that well. To be perfectly honest, I should be massing Zerglings or spending my minerals some fucking how. But I don't have enough vest space to spend my minerals. So,
right. I would like to know 4 minutes ahead of time when a massive wave is coming.
That's a bit lengthy in StarCraft 2 time, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, against human players, it's a long time, but, I mean, how about an AI that will just give me reminders every 30 seconds?
And root.
Root down. Gotta wait out these timers. They give you a timer that is shorter than the main timer, so that in the event you get tired of the main timer, you can look at the smaller timer.
Come on. Zerglings, you're in the way. There. Oh, look, we finally spent one of our mineral fields.
Yeah.
Is strong. We claim essence. We
Devour.
The broken Zerg remain. Collect their essence. Kill.
I'm not entirely sure what determines if Brack or Yagdra actually win the fight. I've had it happen where both Brack's remnants and both Brack's remnants win, and I've also had it where Yagdra wins. In this instance, Yagdra won, but I honestly don't know how to trigger either victory. It really does seem completely random to me.
Could be.
Also, we maxed out on supply. So we're now trading in our Zerglings by throwing them in Ultralisks.
Oh, we're getting wasted.
You say that, but behold, Locusts.
Oh, yeah, just in time.
Also, more Zerglings.
Repel. Defend. Destroy.
I should be actually focusing down the Ultralisk, because the Ultralisk eats up a lot of space, and while the Ultralisk is there, it's going to end up continuously ripping through any Zerglings I send at it. We lost a swarm host here.
Very nice.
Dang it.
Big boy makes big boom.
Thwap and thwap and thwap.
So is the mission over as soon as
Yep,
Kerrigan
the
wakes
mission
up?
is over once Kerrigan wakes up.
Okay. Now we got one more wave coming. It's the hardest wave of them all.
No, it's not.
Oh yeah, we don't need to expand. We've maxed out our capacity. We got this.
I honestly should put another spine crawler on each of the ramps, but I'm choosing not to.
Ah, delicious Yagdra blood.
The swarm will prevail.
England prevails. Good Zerg win. Bad Zerg lose.
Well, Kerrigan's Zerg win. It's to be decided if the good Zerg win or not. And this is why we built Hydras for most of the campaign, because Hydras are awesome. Yeah, I've never been satisfied with the performance of Swarm hosts, like ever. There have been a couple of multiplayer games where I have attempted to use Swarm hosts, and even there, they're just not as good as they're supposed to be, man.
And so Kerrigan has successfully answered her alarm clock.
Behold the vision of inside the chrysalis with her hair flowing around epically.
Yep, there it is. So they're just gonna give her the Queen of Blades costume back.
It's slightly different.
Well, I mean, I hope
it's
not.
slightly different.
Psionic emergence.
Well, no, physical emergence into psionic explosion. It's a sky beam.
Rise.
Now, this is foreshadowing for the end of the game when we actually turn into DBZ. Oh, hi, Arcturus. What are you doing in the rain?
I just like staring at myself in the mirror. It helps remind myself of what I've lost.
Oh, look, a magic rock. So, yes,
We're coming for you.
that is foreshadowing that Arcturus actually has the Xel'Naga Keystone right now. It is important that we, as the people, know that, but Kerrigan does not know that.
Yep, that Kerrigan is going into a trap. Should she try taking on Arcturus herself?
Alright, so we got a couple of NPC interactions before we move into the next mission. Also, we get to show off what the Queen of Blades costume looks like now. Again, it is slightly different.
Yeah, it's slightly different. Yeah, I think her.
Isha, what is a Primal Zerg doing on my Leviathan?
Hi, Dahaka.
Oh, now she's got alien voice going on.
I kill. I take essence. Now I come to you because I feel your change.
All Xeris feels it.
All Xeris fears it. And you.
My friend Jonah actually really likes Dahaka. I'm not entirely sure as to why. I mean, Dahaka is honestly an interesting philosophy to have. He's effectively the purest realization of a more humanoid Zerg form.
I will not.
Well, I forged alliances on shakier ground than that. Very well, you can stay. Betray me and I'll collect your essence.
Yes.
I mean, she still sounds like the same Kerrigan that we've been playing as. She doesn't sound like the menacing Queen of Blades, who is ruthless in all manner.
Genetic strands different, restructured from base level up.
That had to have been fucking
I mean, of course
painful.
she's.
Of blades, sequences complex but clean, completely different at core.
Yes, I am different. I am my own master. When the Xel'Naga artifact made me human again, it cleansed me of Amon's influence.
That is technically a retcon, but not yet.
Allowed me to become something greater.
Must take sample, study new sequences.
Don't even try, Abathur. What I am now is beyond your comprehension.
She should actually offer up some samples to him, to be perfectly honest.
New structure beyond understanding will return to work.
Yes, I am dumb. You are right.
Alright, so for the Swarm Host mutation, we're going to be getting pressurized glands? Yeah, because that one allows our Locusts, if we ever bother to use them again, which we won't, to attack both ground and air units. Fuck Swarm Hosts. They're an interesting concept, they really are, but Spine Crawlers do it better.
It is time.
Supreme.
Confront the remaining pack leaders.
And in the next
We'll
part,
go through Supreme.
Destiny of all Zerg.
I'm gonna miss human Kerrigan.
Be safe, everybody.